Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope it's having a fantastic day. So I want to go over some news for the Philadelphia Eagles regarding the schedule. The schedule comes out tomorrow, so we're going to go over, obviously, where the bye week's going to be, where's the tough part of our schedule, rumor-wise and all that stuff, what's going on with that. I have a few things that have been rumored around a little bit, which is pretty cool. We'll go over some players. We'll go over a couple things there with the roster. And, we are almost getting there. We're not training camp yet, but, after this schedule release, we're going to be on a little bit of a wait time. So very excited, and let's get into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope it's on a fantastic day. So, some news for the Philadelphia Eagles here. Interesting. So, everybody's got to relax. Everybody's got to stop with this until Jalen Carter plays. Every video that Jalen Carter is in, and I swear I'm not going to play the whole entire video because I don't know if it's copyrighted or not, and I don't want to take anyone. I don't know if someone has it on their site or whatnot. But there was a video that Jalen Carter, it surfaced, I guess, of him. It was Ringo. I think Nolan Smith was in the car, and they're all rocking red, and they're just like hanging out and playing music and stuff. And people are now starting to, I don't know, think that he's doing something bad, or there's some like parody accounts, and there's accounts that are putting stuff about him which isn't true, like he's throwing up gang signs. It's just ridiculous at this point. I think all this needs to stop. Obviously the Eagles, into the process of what was going on, there's going to be a lot of people that didn't agree with how much interest the Eagles had in Jalen Carter, and I totally understand that. He isn't the only player to walk through Philadelphia with really some bad things happening off the field, okay? We could take Michael Vick into account with a lot of stuff that obviously fans were not happy about either, and kind of, had to revive his career in some way. But the Jalen Carter stuff, people need to chill out with it, because at this point, he is innocent. At this point, he's playing football right now. Whether you agree or disagree is point of view, and that's just it. It's point of view. The Philadelphia Eagles obviously know a lot more than you do. The Eagles know a lot more than I do, and that's just the way it is. Okay, if you didn't think the Eagles didn't do their research and make sure that, this wasn't going to be, a Henry Ruggs situation, or not even that, because that was pretty damn bad, but a situation where, these guys do stupid things. He's 21, 22, whatever, 22 years old. And these things happen, and some things happen that are pretty bad. And we were worried about the pro day. We're worried about him being out of shape. We're worrying about a lot of stuff. But for me, I was more comfortable with it because I think the support system was pretty good for him here. And I think he's going to get slander, really, until he plays. I think once he starts playing really well, all this stuff is going to probably not serve as enough if it's going to be. I can't even talk right now because it's just what people say online. Like, people put a video up and somebody just believes it automatically. The media wants to fry this up as much as possible, and it's just not fair at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, let the kid play and really prove himself that he's not this person. I don't think he's a bad person at all. I think really, like, once he was drafted, it really changed a lot. I think once he was drafted by the Eagles, when the Eagles move up to 9, they trade away a 4th-round pick. I think just seeing the emotion from him at the draft, and just, when the guy was crying the whole entire time when it got picked, and then he was really crying the whole time he was walking to the stage. So I feel like that moment really changed him. I think that was the moment where things really did change. And obviously him looking up to Jordan Davis as a mentor, which, Jordan Davis was a huge mentor to Jalen Carter back in Georgia. And obviously having the Kobe Dean here, and now having Nolan Smith here, and Keely Ringo here, he's got a really good support system here. I think you guys are going to take things out of proportion, that what you read is what is true, and it's not always true. Obviously, I'll report things that are said, but it doesn't mean I'm going to believe it or not believe it. It's just out there, is what it is on black and white. It's like newspaper news to me. That's what it is. So yeah, I mean, they were just in a car just playing music and throwing up these, they weren't, I don't know, like, to me, it wasn't a big deal. And people were blowing it out of proportion, and, like, how the side we see of him is different than the side they see of him. Like, he's different off the field than he is when he talks in front of the media. Yeah, I mean, a lot of players are like that. They'll be themselves, but they're not going to, like, be their full selves at times because, they can't say certain things at press conferences. And this is why when they get to Philadelphia, they get trained by player development, or not player development, but they're actually taught how to talk in press conferences and what to say, what not to say if they ask this question or this situation or whatever the case may be. And this really all started, well, obviously with Jalen Carter and off-field issues, but what Reuben Frank did on the first night of the draft at the press conference with Howie and Nick was god-awful, disgusting. And I think that man's a disgusting piece of garbage anyway. The guy's getting drafted, best day of his life, and those questions have to come up. And he shrugs it off because he probably doesn't want to talk about it. And then they think he doesn't care, or he's not being accountable, or, it's just stupid. It's just really dumb. And people need to chill out on it. You know what I mean? He's drafted. He's here. That's it. He's here already. So it doesn't matter. So the only way this is going to die down is if, he really shows himself, and what he could do for this team, and obviously what the person he's turning into, a good person that he's going to turn into. I know I've already been talking about this for 7 minutes, but, I'm not even going to make a big deal about it. But people online were just like really dogging on him. About this stupid moment of listening to music. I mean, if Jalen Carter is doing this with Nolan Smith and Keely Ringo and the rest of these guys in his car, then not only is he guilty, then everyone else is guilty for doing it with him. If people are going to be pissed off at Jalen Carter that much, I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point. Anything that he puts out, anything that's on the internet, they're going to take it and they're going to twist it and they're going to make him look like a monster, and that's what it's going to be like. So I wanted to get that off my chest before anything because it really pissed me off the other day when I did see that. Like I said, there's people that like this pick, there's people that don't like it, and I respect people that don't like this pick. It's perfectly fine. I'm talking about from a football talent standpoint, as all I've been talking about. I haven't been talking about him as an off-the-field guy. I know what happened. I get it. You know what I mean? It's god-awful. It's bad. Howie says it's horrible. It's bad. Everybody knows this, okay? But, Eagles like to give those second chances. And you know what? He got a second chance here. I don't think he still would have been drafted regardless. Even if he got drafted top 10, he still would have got drafted. It wouldn't have even mattered at this point. So, that's all I really got to say about it. So, Jalen Carter is going to be a good player. I think he's going to be a great person. And that's it. So, that's the news on that. 8.5 minutes of that stuff. Secondly, the schedule for the Philadelphia Eagles. We got some new, obviously, from the Philadelphia Eagles itself. We will have a game on Christmas Day. Why? I hate games on holidays. That's just me. Can't stand it. And it's really not that Christmas is not that bad. I actually like Christmas Eve more than Christmas because, you get to sit and do your thing and, chill out the family Christmas Eve. And I don't know. Christmas is like, we wake up early, we open gifts, and like the day is over. That's pretty much how it goes. And we'll have a football game to watch as well on Christmas at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So really not that bad. Game will end at, 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever. So not too bad. I heard there's going to be a Black Friday game this year. There's the Eagles are not playing in London this year, which is good. Eagles are not playing in London. The Eagles I don't think are playing in Germany this year. So these are pretty much the few rumors I know so far right now is obviously this new one with the Eagles-Giants at home, Lincoln Financial Field on Christmas. The Philadelphia Eagles will travel to Arrowhead against the Chiefs on week 2. of the season, not week 1, which is kind of surprising to me because usually the 2 Super Bowl teams play on Thursday night first game. New rumors are showing that the Washington Commanders could be week 1. I don't know if it's going to be an opener or away. That I don't know. All I've been hearing is that the Commanders are rumored to be first week for the Eagles as of right now. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, week 1 against the Commanders, week 2 against the Chiefs, and we have Christmas against the Giants at the Link. So not too bad so far. Can't wait to see the schedule come out tomorrow. There's probably going to be a lot more news on what's going on. So until tomorrow. So probably by tonight, we're going to get more leaks probably by tonight on what's going on. And then by tomorrow, I'll have a whole video on the schedule just itself. And then the shakedown Saturday, we'll talk about the schedule and all that great stuff. So I'm actually pretty excited. Like, you think these little things aren't exciting, but they really are. Like, the schedule release is great. Eagles have the toughest schedule. We're going to see what it looks like. We're going to see where it's tough, where the bye week is. We're going to see the meat and potatoes of the schedule where it's really going to get crazy. So apparently the Eagles are rumored to 6 or I think 5 to 6 or 5 to 7 primetime games this year, which is a lot. So they had a lot last year as well. And 1 being flexed to be rumored at the end of the year. Obviously, if the Eagles make the playoffs, stuff like that, whatever's going on. So pretty excited about the schedule and excited to go. So next on the list is the top 100 list. This, I never go over this every year because it's the most BS. It's a popularity contest by the players, and it's so dumb. I mean, Jalen Hurts isn't even a top player on this list. I mean, it's that bad. Jalen Hurts gets no respect from, I think it's worse that Jalen Hurts gets no respect from the players in the league. I mean, that's how crazy it is right now. Jalen Hurts is going to have to prove himself yet again. And I don't think he cares about him proving himself to the players of the league. Who cares what they have to say? I don't care what they have to say. But I'm just giving you an example of how much BS the top 100 players list is. I don't even watch those videos anymore because I don't even care about the top 100 list. I mean, they have Kirk Cousins in front of Joe Burrow. I mean, it's just like there's stuff that just makes no sense. So these are obviously cards that players put names down, and everyone is different, but this is just one of many. This is just one of many that are literally ridiculous, and it just gets to a point where, okay, I get it. Like, they're in some players' eyes because of the position they play. They might have a favorite player that that is the best player. I totally get it. But a MVP finalist that was in a Super Bowl last year, and he's not even on. At least they came out with 3 lists from 3 different players, and he's not even on the list. Not even on the list. MVP finalist, not even on the list. So that's why these lists are a bunch of BS at the end of the day. Can't stand it. Like I said, it's a popularity contest. That's all it is. It's pick and choose your favorite player and just put it down on a piece of paper. That's really all it is at this point. This isn't by the fans. It's nothing. You know what I mean? The fans voted, obviously, and know about MVP, and that's how these guys get the MVP. Obviously, the league will choose at the end of the day. I'm not really sure how that goes with the league choosing by statistics. And Jalen Hurts is never going to get respect because his overall touchdowns are not passing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes has more passing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts could have, obviously didn't have the same amount of touchdowns, but at one point he did until he got hurt. It was like 32, 35, whatever it was. I forgot what the number was. But the league is not going to respect rushing touchdowns. The league is not going to respect overall touchdowns, not passing touchdowns, not rushing touchdowns, overall touchdowns, which means it's pass, which means it's rush. So they just don't respect it. And yes, obviously when a passing touchdown is the same amount of points as a rushing touchdown, you get 6 points out of it. I totally get it. But the league somewhat just doesn't care. I guess they just don't value it as much. So not really sure, but that's just the way it is. Like I said, top 100 list is just stupid, dumb. I won't even look at this anymore. Don't even care. But I just want to mention it just because of the fact Jalen Hurts is still not respected in any way possible. And it's ridiculous at this point. But now last thing, I know this might not be a big deal at all. So the Eagles at the quarterback situation. So obviously signing Tanner McKee in the 6th round, which a lot of fans were just like, what? Obviously the Browns took Dorian Thompson, which the Eagles had a lot of discussions with from UCLA. Malik Willis was an interesting one to me because, the Eagles aren't going to go after backup veteran quarterbacks every year. They're too expensive, even though $5 million is not a lot of money for Marcus Mariota. But at the same time, you can't be doing that every single year. It's just a 1 year, 5 million, 6 million, 5 million. It adds up at the end of the day. As much as you think it's not a big deal, it's like 5 million with like 8 million in like another 3 million in incentives, which would be like 8 million altogether. Malik Willis was interesting too as a third? What was he, a third? I forgot what pick he was. I'm just having brain farts right now. Malik Willis would actually be a really good asset to trade for, okay? Like 1 year with the team and still has a few more years left. Now, Malik Willis was part of the old GM for the Titans, and the new GM came right in and wanted another quarterback. Obviously, they drafted what's-his-face. So it looks like they're moving on from Malik Willis as of right now. And I'm not saying this is something the Eagles are going to do because I feel like we're done at quarterback. We're not going to add anybody else. They drafted one. They signed one. I'm kind of just reminiscing on they probably should have tried to at least trade for Malik Willis. I wouldn't mind that, to be honest. He's got the same skill set or a similar skill set to Hurts. This Tanner McKee, there probably wasn't a lot of mobile quarterbacks they wanted to draft. He was probably the best on their board out of all the quarterbacks, and honestly, he's a bigger quarterback. He's more of a pocket, passer, and he's not mobile at all. And he won't make it through training camp. He probably will be at practice. He'll be a camp arm regardless. Is going to beat Ian Book out of that third spot? I don't know. Maybe. But I guess we're just going to have to see. I never really talked about it, but yeah, a Malik Willis trade I would have really liked a lot more. And who knows, like, if they don't really think highly of Malik Willis, like, they're probably not going to give him up for cheap either. I mean, probably not. And that was probably another aspect of it where they couldn't get rid of him because teams know that they were going to ask for too much for him. But to give up on Malik Willis after a year is just kind of like, I mean, give the guy a chance. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's something there. There are times where he showed some good things in the passing game, and that running ability with Derrick Henry in the backfield was great. But obviously a lot of injuries happened, and I don't know, man. It's just, you can't give up on quarterbacks after 1 year. Like, you can't draft a quarterback. You know what I mean? At least the owner should have been like, dude, like, we're going to use Malik Willis this year. You got to give him another year. You can't just come in as a new GM and just go draft another quarterback because you don't think Malik Willis is going to do anything. You never know what you have here. Malik Willis goes to another team and really revives his career a little bit. You never know what he could turn into. I'm not saying anything that he's going to be anything crazy any crazy successful on another team. But, I mean, the Eagles, if he was going to be traded for cheap, I would have definitely got him. Get him in the building for 3 more years in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Like, to play behind Jalen Hurts, to learn behind Jalen Hurts, would be a fantastic thing. I would have absolutely loved this if they actually did it. And I have no problem with Marcus Mariota. I think Mariota is perfect for the Eagles because, number one, like 8 years later, he should have been a Philadelphia Eagle a long time ago. Mariota's been a starter. He's been a backup. He's played in the playoff game. He's been through it all, which I really do like. And he's tough. And he's not a big social media guy. He stays away from the BS. Mariota's perfect, for a backup quarterback and has a similar skill set to Jalen Hurts and can work this. So this way, when Hurts got hurt and Minshew went in, they put Minshew in a Jalen Hurts system, and holy crap, like, why did they do that? Why? I don't know. It was a nightmare. We could have had first seed cleared up a lot earlier, and it took like 2-3 weeks to get it done, so that's where I kind of am at with the quarterback situation and kind of just reminiscing, not saying that this is going to happen, but something I had a lot of interest in the past, Malik Willis. But it is what it is. Obviously next year is next year. So if they keep Malik Willis for another year and want to get rid of him, want to trade him, I don't know, want to just release him flat, who knows? The Eagles could swoop in and go get him. I want a long-term backup quarterback. That's what I want. And a lot of teams don't like having the long-term guys because if you draft one in the 6th, 7th round, they're not going to be long-term. Unless you just want to force them to be a backup, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like Tanner McKee, Ian Book, they're not going to last. You know what I mean? Those guys won't last. The Eagles are going to have to pick up another backup. Every year you got to do that, and it's annoying. The Eagles have paid a pretty penny for backup quarterbacks, a long time. They have, it's unfortunate, but, you always want that guy to take over. I have full trust. I got full trust in Marcus Mariota to start, a game if he has to, and that's a good thing. But that's all I really got to say about it. So I'm kind of just reminiscing on that fact. So we talked about the Jalen Carter video. People are blowing up for no reason. We talked about the schedule, the rumors, Commanders week 1. Kansas City in Kansas City week 2, and obviously a Christmas game at home at the Link at 4:30, which is great. The top 100 list, just a popularity contest in itself and how ridiculous it is. And we talked about Malik Willis, kind of just reminiscing on this backup quarterback position for now and for the future. And I would have liked them to make a trade like this if they had a chance, but they didn't, and it is what it is. But other than that, it's pretty much it. Obviously, we got the schedule released tomorrow. We got the shakedown Saturday. We got a lot to talk about throughout the week, and we'll get to you with more news. And if you guys have lasted this long, over 21 minutes in, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video as well for more updates and more content. We got some big updates coming for the channel the next couple of weeks. You guys are going to absolutely love it. I can't wait to show you guys. And I will see you guys in the next one. You have a great day. Shakes, what up, follow. So peace out, guys. Peace.